Hello there, you're listening to the Eiffel Tower podcast. My name is Oliver G, and I gotta be honest with you, if you've just joined for the first time, you have joined for a pretty unusual episode because it's me interviewing Edith Piaf. That's right, the world famous singer from France, Edith Piaf. How did that happen? You're probably wondering. Well, let me tell you. Let me rewind a little. During the lockdown, we all sort of went a bit stir crazy in Paris. I ended up having very vivid dreams. And I think if you've been listening for a while, you might remember I had a dream where I met Ernest Hemingway, which resulted in a podcast episode and a YouTube video, actually. Well, he came back the other night in a dream and he said, "You want to talk to Edith Piaf?" I said, "Sure I do." He said, "Well, call this number. She's waiting for you." That's exactly what I did. Woke up in the morning, dialed the number, and that's how the interview was prompted. Now, I need to just set out a few things so you know what's going on. Whenever you deal with time portals, it's a dangerous situation. You don't want to change the course of history. So very subtly and cleverly, I deduced what year we were in a little bit into the interview. But I can tell you now, it's 1962. So for context, Edith Piaf died at a fairly young age, in her mid to late 40s, in 1963. So she'd already pretty much done everything. The only thing she hadn't done is got married to her next partner, which she's going to talk about. But 1962, she'd just come out with one of her mega hits, which was Non, je ne regrette rien. And she performed it at the Olympia, which you're going to hear about as well. The other thing is, because she was kind of tragically about to die, I didn't want to get into that morbid stuff. She was in a positive mood, so I kept it pretty positive. She was in a kind of flirty mood, to be honest. But look, you can listen to it. Here's the chat. At the end, I called a friend of mine who's also called Edith. Her name's Edith de Belleville, Edith de Belleville, who you can check out if you like her stuff. But she'll put a bit of context on everything that happened. So coming up now, chat with Edith Piaf. At the end, I'll read a little email or a comment and a chat with Edith de Belleville. But that'll do for now. Let's get into it. A little bit of time travel, armchair travel on the Eiffel Tower podcast. Enjoy the episode. I'll be back at the end.
Hello.
This is Oliver G. Is this Edith?
Edith, you mean? Edith. My name is Edith.
Yes,
Edith. Yes, it's me. Edith.
It is Madame Piaf.
Mademoiselle. Yes, it's me.
Sorry. Is it okay to speak English with you?
Of course, I study 4 years of English in USA by day, so I speak English, of course, Oliver.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I can hear that you're in what sounds like a cafe or a restaurant. Is it okay if we chat on the phone for 20 minutes?
No, it's okay. I'm in the cafe. For me, I just have my coffee because I live in the night. So sorry if I'm a bit sleepy. I just woke up.
What do you mean that you live in the night? Is that you're in...
I always live in the night. I woke up at 8 o'clock. I'm scared of the night, I'm scared to be lonely. And today I woke up a little bit earlier and I had my coffee because I like to drink coffee.
Right. Well, I'm quite fascinated by your whole life, and I'm very eager to learn a little bit more about you. But you mentioned that you've been in America. For anyone who will be listening to this interview, I'm just interested to get a sense of who you are and what you've done. How would you describe yourself?
Oh, myself to describe. Well, I live to sing and I love men too. Do you want to know how I became successful in America, Oliver?
Yes, please.
Are you interested? Yeah, well, it's like a love story. It starts very, very badly because the first time I sang, the Americans, they were looking for a sexy woman. And I'm not very sexy. I mean, I don't look like Brigitte Bardot. I'm small, I'm skinny, and I'm a bit sad. And the Americans were very disappointed. But I have a strong temper because that when I was born, I was begging in the street when I was 6 years old. So I did it again. I learned English 4 hours by day, as I told you, and I came back to New York and I did succeed. So that's why Americans love me.
They were expecting some kind of sexy French woman, and then you came on the
Absolutely.
scene. You're not a very tall woman, as I understand.
No, I don't know how you say in Australia. I'm a 1 meter 47 centimeter.
Okay, is that how you got your nickname about being a little sparrow?
No, the nickname of Sparrow, I tell you, I start to sing in the street. And one day, I was 17 years old. I was singing in the near Champs-Élysées. You know where are Champs-Élysées, Oliver, right? You know where
Absolutely,
is
yes.
it? Like,
Yes, I do, yes.
So I was singing in the street, and a man stopped, elegant, and I was singing a song very popular at those times. So it was it was in 1930s. The song, the name of the song was Les Deux Moineaux, the two sparrows. It was a love story about sparrows. And the man who had the cabaret said, "You look like Sparrow. You sing about sparrows. I'm going to call you La Môme Moineau." The problem, you had already a woman who was a singer whose name was Moineau, Sparrow. And he said, "You know what? You belong to the working class, so you belong to the slang. And in French, in slang, a sparrow, you say a piaf."
Oh.
So this is how he called me first. My first name of a singer was La Môme Piaf. I don't know how you would translate in English. The Sparrow Kid or something like this.
Okay, yeah, the Sparrow Kid.
Sparrow Kid, that was my first name, La Môme Piaf. And little by little, I met another man who educated me. He said, "Forget La Môme Piaf, it's too vulgar. You will be Edith," which is an English name. Do you know, by the way, why my name is Edith, Oliver?
I don't know. Please tell me.
So I tell you. Because I was born during the First World War, and few months before, English resistant Edith Cavell, sorry, I can't pronounce in English. She was killed by Germans. So she was an heroine. And that's why my father, Monsieur Gassion, because my real name is Edith Gassion, decided to call me Edith. So in fact, I have an English name.
Yes, as I tried to pronounce before, we say Edith in Australia.
Edith, like,
Okay.
E-D-I-T.
Yes,
Repeat
Edith.
after me, please, Oliver. Repeat.
Edith.
Say it.
Edith.
Voila.
Okay.
Voila. Good. Excellent. Bravo. You're good in French.
Thank you very much. Edith. There's a lot that I want to talk to you about, but I just it might sound like an odd question, but I just got to say, I can hear the chatter of the bar around you. Can you just paint a picture for me of the bar that you're in? Is it like a modern bar, a classic? Tell me a bit about your surroundings.
Well, in 1962 here, everything is modern, yes, It's a great bar with the music, with a jukebox, with American music too. It's a great place.
1962. Of course it's 1962. I should have began by congratulating you for your mega hit, Non, je ne regrette rien.
Yes, I was like a phoenix. I was not dying, but I was very, very bad. And a young man came in my home whose name was Charles Dumont with Michel Vauquer. I didn't like him at all. He was arrogant. But, Oliver, in my life, I didn't have good intuition for men, but I always had a good intuition for musician and for music. He asked me to listen to his music, and he wrote the words, Non, je ne regrette rien, with the music, Michel Vauquer, and the words of Dumont. No, Dumont made the music. Sorry, I mixed up. I'm a bit, I told you I'm a bit tired because I just woke up. I say, listen, I like this music. This is for me. I sang this song at Olympia. Do you know, Oliver, how long the people cheer me? 30 minutes. 30 minutes people shouted and cheered for me and were crying for the song.
Okay, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this song because I have a feeling it will be your legacy. Firstly, how does it feel to have people cheering for 30 minutes? That sounds outrageous.
It feels, I think, as you know, had many lovers, many young lovers. I'm going to marry Theo Sarapo, who is 20 years younger than me, and I'm 47 years old. But I had, I think, one lover who never, never, ever disappointed me. It's my audience. And it's true, I was very moved. I cried because I know my audience, the French, the Parisian, people from all over, social classes. I could feel they love me and they never disappointed me.
The song itself, I don't know how we could translate it to English. I suppose, no, I don't regret anything. But what does that mean? What does the song mean for you?
I never look back in the past. This is what it means. It's true that when you see my life, the man had a huge importance. You have a very nice voice, Oliver. I'd like to meet you if you don't mind. Well, anyway, what is important for me is love. Are you in love, Oliver? Now, are you in love with someone?
I'm in love.
Me.
Yes, I am in love.
It's wonderful.
Although I fear that maybe that won't stop you.
No, I don't stop you. Just what is important, Oliver? It's to be in love. Everybody has to be in love. That was my question. Me, I always have been in love. Love is the most important thing in my life. If you listen all my songs, it's about love. And the meaning of no, I don't regret anything. It's because I met a new man. The meaning is, as soon as I have a new man, I don't care about the past. I assume who I am and who I was.
Do you agree that this will be your legacy, this song? Or do you think there are other songs or things that you've done that are more important or should be more well remembered?
Oliver, the most important song is La Vie en Rose. That's another song, very important. Everybody knows, even in China.
Let's talk about that song then. What does that mean to you? What does it mean, La Vie en Rose? How can we say it in English?
The life in pink. I mean, it's the always still a love story. All my songs are about love. I don't care about politics. I don't care about anything. What is important for me is love. I'm always in love with someone, and love is my blood. And I see life in pink. Even in Soviet Union, they know the song.
Yeah, I feel like that one will hang around for a long time, long after 1962. But I want to talk I want to talk about Paris, but also there's a topic that seems to be running through this conversation, and that is your love for men. Now, even around the world, it's public news that you've been with many famous men, and I'm just wondering if you could sort of reflect on who meant a lot to you, if there was someone. I mean, I know about the tragedy of your former lover. Yes.
Marcel. Yes.
Was he the most special to you?
Yeah, Marcel. For me, you have Marcel before Marcel, the boxer, Marcel Cerdan, and after Marcel Cerdan. And I met Marcel in New York when I was singing in Versailles, the cabaret. Bette Davis came to see me, Judy Garland. Even Charlie Chaplin cried when I was singing. And I met Marcel in New York. He was boxing. And he's the first man who was as famous as me. That's why he was the man of my life. He was equal to me. Because all the men I met, it's true that I was like a Pygmalion. I built them. You know Yves Montand, Oliver? Yves Montand, the singer.
Of course.
No, you don't know. Yeah, well, I met him,
You made him. So what? You're responsible for his popularity.
Pygmalion. Of course, I met Yves Montand. I met, maybe you're Australian, maybe you don't know, but Les Compagnons de la Chanson. It's me. Charles Aznavour, well, I helped him. He was my secretary. I met many. Moustaki. I don't know if you know Moustaki, but of course he was my lover.
Can we pause for a second, Edith? Charles Aznavour was your secretary?
Yeah, he was my secretary. He was my secretary. Charles
what does
Aznavour.
that mean? Was he like doing your tax returns or something?
No, he was helping me, working for me. But it's the only man I didn't sleep with him. He was not my style, let's say.
Wow, this is the gossip is running high here. Let's talk a little bit about Paris, the city of Paris. I assume it's quite important to you. I read somewhere that you were born on the street, although others say that you were born in a hospital.
The truth, I like mystery in my life, Oliver, and I like magic. So I like a bit, I had not to invent, but I was not born in the street. Probably I was born in the flat. But who cares, really? Is it so important, you think, Oliver, that I was born in the flat or in the hospital?
I don't know. I never really considered that you grew up without you didn't have such a close family growing up, right? So you probably don't know so much yourself.
I can tell you that I lived twice in a brothel. Sorry for my English. Where you
a brothel, yeah.
Twice. When I was 6 years old, I was extremely happy in Normandy. It was where my grandmother, she was the owner of the brothel. And during the Second World War, I hired the third floor of a brothel in Paris. And when I was making noise, the neighbors were complaining. And when people say, but it's Edith Piaf, she's doing for the show, the people say, oh, okay, we don't say anything.
What an interesting life that you have had. Let's talk a little bit about Paris as a city and how maybe you're inspired by it or not. I know you spent a lot of time up in Pigalle and Montmartre.
Yes, I was living in a hotel, l'Hôtel Sans Souci in Pigalle, absolutely.
And what do you think of? I mean, this was obviously 20 years ago for you now. Was it a lively and interesting place, or was it? What was it like?
Yes, it was. Pigalle, I always like bad boys. So Pigalle is really the place where you have the bad boys. So you had prostitutes. It was a bit dangerous, huh? It's a miracle that I have not been a prostitute myself, but because I told you, I have a strong temper. And the first time I sang in the street, I was like 7 years old. When I heard people cheering, I knew that God gave me a gift to sing. And I knew I would be a singer well known all over the world.
And obviously, just the fact that that is exactly what happened, and you've become such a global celebrity is, it speaks volumes. It's so fascinating. I want to talk about your legacy. Yes. I know I've heard reports that you're not extremely well right now, that you're a little bit sick.
I had 2 car accidents. I had many operations. But I'm not afraid to die, Oliver. You know what I'm afraid about? I'm afraid not to be able to sing. That's my only fear in life. And I don't want to die old. I want to die young.
And when the tragic, and I hate to be so morbid, but when the tragic day comes that your life is over, how do you hope to be remembered by the world? Or is that not important to you? I don't know.
No, it's important, of course, because I'm proud to be French, and I'm proud to sing in French. Can you imagine that the American liked me and I was singing? Even if I sang in English, I wanted to sing in French. So my legacy is the emotion. I hope that the emotion, when I sing, people will remember that I was authentic, I was not artificial, not fake, and I was singing love. L'amour, Oliver, l'amour. This is the most important, l'amour.
It's a great lesson that I will definitely take with me. But I want to end on a pretty simple question. If you found out it was to be your last days in Paris, if you were going to leave the city for good, and you were never going to come back, how would you like to spend your last day in the city of Paris? What would you want to do?
So I would be with friends. I would drink. I like to drink. I would have steak au poivre. This is one of my favorite meal. What I like, this is a bad habit I had, is to eat garlic in the morning. Maybe it's not very sexy, but this is what I like. I would be with friends because I like to be with people. I don't like to be lonely. And I would give money because I think I'm a quite generous woman. You know, I give money to many poor people. That's why I'm poor, Oliver. If you knew, you know that it's my Lou, my impresario, who gives me the money because I'm broke. I don't have money. But I would invite people to drink and to eat and to have fun and, of course, to sing with a piano. This is how I would spend my life. And in Paris, of course. Maybe probably in Belleville, where I was born.
Lovely. What a lovely full circle. Now I know you're a very busy woman, Edith, and I want to thank you for your time.
Good. You pronounce well my name. Thank you, Oliver. Good. Edith.
My pleasure, and I'm a big fan of your music, and I truly hope that I can get to Paris and meet you one of these days very soon. Although I have a niggling feeling that might be impossible. But thank you for your time.
No, don't say this, Oliver. And please be nice with the woman you love. Offer her flowers.
Edith, it's all about love, and that's exactly what I will do.
Yes, good. Excellent.
So thank you for your time, and it was lovely to talk to you. I'll let you get back to it. Paris 1962. I'm sure you've got a lot of things to do. And good luck, and try not to drink too much or be in any crazy cars.
No, I'm a crazy woman. No, I'm not a normal woman. That doesn't work with me, Oliver.
Okay, well, best of luck. That is all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
So there you have it, a chat with Edith Piaf. Me personally, hearing this and researching it subsequently got me really interested in her life, and I plan to check out. There's a museum in Paris that I want to check out. It's a small museum that's rarely open apparently, but I'm going to go and look into that. There's a bar that's got sort of a bar in Belleville with a bit of Edith Piaf theme going on. I want to check that out. The bars are incidentally all closed in Paris at the moment, so it won't be for a while, but that's something to look forward to. But yeah, after that chat, I had the urge to call a friend of mine, Edith de Belleville, a tour guide who does a little bit of Edith Piaf touring as well, and has a kind of familiar voice. I gave her a call just to get a bit more info from her. Here's what happened.
Hello.
Hello, Edith, or should I say Edith? Hello?
Edith, yes.
Yeah, it's Oliver here. I'm just calling with a really random question for you. I've just got off the phone with Edith Piaf for an interview. What? Yeah, like a time. Yeah, it's a long story, but it's like a time portal kind of thing. I just had a chat with her. But
Did you drink, Oliver?
There was a bit of drinking involved, but forget about that. I wanted to just quickly call you because I know that you're a little bit of an expert on Edith Piaf as well.
Expert? Well, I have the same name, and I was living exactly in front where she was born.
I wanted to just call you quickly to say, when it comes to Edith Piaf, do you sort of mention her on your own tours around Paris? Yes,
well, I do the Belleville tour about her, but she has a special. She's a special person for me because I have the same name. I was living in the same street with Belleville, and I admire her because she had a very tough life, and still now. Have you seen Emily in Paris, the Netflix?
Not yet. No, not yet.
So when you will see it, guess which song the friend of Emily sings in Palais Royal, the garden.
She sings La Vie en Rose. Yeah.
And the last guess, what is the last song of the series? Non, je ne regrette rien. When I saw this, I was moved. It means even after even after many years, more than 50 years, she's still here with us. Her voice, we still have we're moved by her, So even in something modern, she's here.
I've got to say, your voice sounds very similar to my Edith Piaf interview, and it even sounds like you're in a similar bar to what she was in. Any comment?
Because she had a deep voice. She had a deep voice.
So coincidence.
So the coincidence. You know why? Now maybe I'm going to sing. Maybe I will be as famous as her. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien.
Are you named after Edith Piaf, by the way, or the resistance fighter?
It's a good question. I asked my parents. I mean, how come my name is Edith? They said, no, it's a coincidence. I was born 3 years after she died. I think it's not a coincidence. Yeah, I think it's not a coincidence.
Edith, I think I will round things out by saying, if people want to check out you and your tours of Belleville and so on, is there a website that they can follow or an Instagram page or?
I have everything, Oliver. I'm a modern woman, even if I'm not a spring chicken. So I'm on Instagram. Don't laugh. I'm on Instagram, Edith de Belleville. I'm on Facebook, Edith de Belleville. And I even a Facebook page, group, La Vie Parisienne.
Easy
and if
to find it.
You can even invite me for a coffee. It will be even easier to contact me.
Okay, there you go, folks. That's how you can find Edith de Belleville. And Edith, I will send you a link to my interview with Edith Piaf. I think you're gonna love it.
Thank you very much, Oliver. You're nice.
Okay. Au revoir, merci.
Au
Okay,
revoir et merci.
Well, suspiciously similar voices, if you ask me. But you heard it from her, Edith de Belleville. Check her out. Check out more about Edith Piaf if you want. I personally probably going to watch La Vie en Rose, the Oscar-winning, Academy Award-winning film with Marion Cotillard. Wouldn't she be great to have on this show? Should look into that. I think I'll just finish on a little review for you guys who enjoy the program. It helps if you leave a review. In fact, I'll be honest, I don't know if it helps, but it gives me something to read out, and I always love to read what you guys write. And this is one from Lucky Lynn from the United States of America. She says, 5 stars, I love this podcast. I stumbled across Oliver G's book, Paris on Air, and I enjoyed it so much that I had to subscribe to the podcast, follow the Facebook page, bookmark the website, and subscribe to the newsletter. Wow, that's a deep dive into this world. Thank you, Lucky Lynn. She says, Paris is my favorite place in the world, and for those times when I can't be there, nothing is better than listening to this funny and informative podcast. I can't wait till the next time I'm in Paris and can use the visited places that are mentioned. Well, that's lovely to hear, Lucky Lynn. Thank you for that review. I appreciate them. And keep sending them in. I'll keep reading them. Send in those funny emails too. I like reading those ones out and, of course, responding to them. But, yeah, that's it from me. If you enjoy all this stuff, I think you already know, patreon.com/the Earful Tower. That's how you can get a heck of a lot more, including the beautiful scroll from this episode, which will feature a lot more fun facts about Edith Piaf and some of the places in Paris where you can find her. As for me, I'll be back with another episode on Monday. Thanks for listening and have a lovely week.